Like me and my dad always joke about it, me and my mum always joke about it. He says like, so far, it's like a 50-50. You know, we've been partners, you know, like me, my mum and dad, so they're constantly, you know, supporting me, constantly helping me with things. Things aren't going well, they're just there behind me, so I don't think people appreciate sometimes parents enough. We obviously came from an Albanian background, so Albanians are quite noisy sometimes, and yeah, we had like a bit of a noisy household. Obviously with my sisters and me, it's just us three, so I'm up two parents, so we always like were there for each other, you know, and that's quite important, you know. Obviously my mum and dad would tell me stories about, you know, back then, but yeah, they had to kind of struggle a lot, you know, to kind of get us to where we are now, and yeah, they just tried doing everything, you know. We lived in we lived in the back of a hotel for a while when I was born, so it weren't obviously the best, but we all lived in one room, I believe. They probably look back now and think we've come a long way to them, you know, and for us, me and my sisters, we're just starting, you know, so we're in different kind of eras, but yeah, it's like I said, we just got to be thankful for what we have. So being with him in the house when he got back from work and stuff, he'd always be drilled into me. It's like you'd wake up at, I don't know, 5, go out to work, come back at 12, you know, so it was difficult for him, but yeah, he kind of like drilled into me. As soon as he came back from work when I was a young boy, he would always ask me like, Armando, have you done your training? And I'd obviously go, yes, but he'd obviously know I'm lying, so he'd take me out, do 20 laps around the pitch, and I'd be like, oh, Dad, why? You know, he'd be like, no, I don't want to hear you, 20 laps, so I just go around 20 laps. If I'm going too slow, he said 30 laps. He was so like determined for me to succeed, so that's kind of where I got it from. And then in my head I was thinking like, yeah, I've just got to keep doing it because Dad's going to come home and make me do more, so because obviously knowing where my parents came from, I didn't know too much about the culture when I was younger, so they tried to, you know, show me it as well. So they'd obviously speak Albanian around the house, that's where I'd learn it from. So I would go back every single year, like I don't think we ever went anywhere else apart from Albania, so for me to see that as well was kind of like, it's kind of shaped me as well, the person I am now. When I was quite small, before, I think around 16, 17, I kind of had like a growth, but I just shot up, you know, and my dad said to me like, you're going to lose your speed, because I always used to be quite quick, so my dad said you're going to lose your speed because you've grown a lot, you know. So he'd take me out again and he'd tell me to just do like loads of hill runs, run up and down a hill for like an hour, and I'd be like falling down the hill, but he said, no, get up and do another one, so that helped me a lot. So yeah, he helped me obviously maintain that and keep it going, so it did help out a lot.
Sit, out. Left.
I was at Tottenham Juniors, obviously the club I was first at, and I remember going to a tournament. The Tottenham scout actually came to watch another boy. I happened obviously to play well that tournament, and I got top goal scorer and I got best player of the tournament. So they approached my mum and dad before I even knew about it. So when I came back, my mum and dad said like, oh, Tottenham, and like came over to us, and I was thinking, who's Tottenham? You know, but because I was quite young, I didn't really know anything apart from my Sunday league team. So in my head, it was just Tottenham Juniors. That's all I knew. So and then they were like, oh, Tottenham's like in the Premier League, this. And I was like, oh wow, like, you know. And I said, I want to go. And they were like, yeah, we're obviously speaking to them, this. But I was so happy because I thought, wow, like I'm gonna play for a big team. My mum's first cousin, he's a massive Chelsea fan, and he would take me to every Chelsea game when I was like 3, 4. So I always supported Chelsea, and like he loves Chelsea. So in my head, I just supported Chelsea, but I didn't know the rivalry between Tottenham and Chelsea. So when I did join Tottenham, I didn't know, you know, what it was going to be like. In my head, when I was at Tottenham, I supported them, but I always wanted to beat them, because I wanted to show like the Chelsea staff and everyone there that like, wow, I want to join Chelsea. I was on the bench, and then I was begging my manager to come on, like, please let me on. We were losing 2-0. As soon as I came on, I got an assist, and then I got a goal after that, so we drew 2-2. And then we moved over to the other side of the pitch and played the other team. We won 12-0, I think, and I scored 9. So straight after that, the two Chelsea guys came over and said, like, wow, like, we want you, you know? And when they said that, yeah, I didn't think of anything else. I just wanted to join Chelsea. So eventually that, you know, obviously did happen, and then joined Chelsea end of under 9, start of under 10. So that I've been there since then. So. The way the game went, we were beating Everton 4-0. So in my head, I thought, okay, maybe I might get a chance. And I saw Tino just came on maybe like 10 minutes before me. So I thought, okay, maybe I might get a few minutes here. Depends, we'll see. And then he called me over, and he said, all right, so come in on, get ready. It took me a good 10-15 seconds to realise what's even going on. I was so confused, so lost. I was like, wow, like I'm about to play in the Premier League. And I remember I was trying to take off my tracksuit bottoms that I had on, like my training bottoms, and I was struggling to take them off because I was just shaking so much. He's like, just go out there and enjoy it. You know, these are your first few minutes, you know, just express yourself, have fun. That kind of gave me confidence, you know, and I just went out there. And as soon as I entered the pitch, like all the nerves just kind of went because it just felt so natural. Obviously, massive thank you to Lampard. I remember coming in for pre-season. At the time I was thinking, like, considering going out on loan, because he even said to me, like, yeah, if it's best for you, you know, we'll obviously support you. So then I just thought, yeah, I want to go to Southampton. I want to show them what I can do, and then I just didn't even think twice. If I'm being honest, I didn't know what to expect from, you know, a Premier League club. Obviously I did train at Chelsea, but it was so different because I've been there my whole life, so I didn't really know what I was going to expect from, you know, like a team like Southampton. And I feel like that's where the manager obviously said, like, he's had a slow start because I obviously weren't at the tempo I should have been at. But my dad always, even if I'm playing well or doing well, he will always be on my back and say I need to do more. Whereas my mum's more of the nicer one. She'd be like, oh, don't worry about it, you know, it'll get better. But then I kind of just started to realise and mature even more.
So Leeds United have made the long trip to the south coast after the international break to resume their Premier League season.
That was actually my first Premier League start also, and when I kind of went out there onto the pitch to do the line-up thing, it just, nerves went away. I just felt natural on the pitch. Me and Nathan Redmond both went. The Leeds defenders, 2 of them were trying to track back, but there was only one, you know, between me and Nathan. So, I saw Nathan on the left. I saw the centre-back in the middle, but he weren't marking me, so I was free. I was like, oh, please square it to me, you know, please square it to me. So then he obviously did. He looked up, played it across, and I just thought, okay, this is about just getting contact on the ball, try and, you know, get to corners or finish it off. The goalkeeper came running out at me. The centre-back like tried to slide tackle to block it, and then I kind of just like dinked it over. It was like almost like a little chip.
Here's Broja!
As soon as I saw it go in, I was thinking that was like the best moment for me. I actually got injured. Well, the centre-back actually hit me in the knee. I was too busy celebrating, so I didn't know what happened. Came off, I think, like 15 minutes or 10 minutes later. I was just thinking about the goal. I was just thinking about, oh wow, like I just scored and things like this, and that's kind of like where my boost of confidence came from. I just wanted to keep going. To be like the first Premier League Albanian goal scorer, I was thinking, like, wow, like saying now my name will go down in history there, like he's the first Albanian Premier League goal scorer. So it was quite a nice thing as well. I was, I think, 15, 16, and I actually went to go with the Albanian national team to try and kind of like trial. They actually said to me I weren't good enough. So they just said to me, like, he's not good enough. And then 2 years later, so when I was 17, my dad said, what are your thoughts on going back to try with them again? But in my head I was thinking, I don't want to go back because they said I'm not good enough. So I did obviously come back to him maybe a week later and thought, like, okay, like I'll go, but I only want to go because I want to prove him wrong. and they were begging me like, no, like we made a big mistake earlier and blah blah blah, we didn't know you were going to become this good. And in my head I thought, okay, you know what, I'll stay. There was obviously a stage where I was like under 21s, and I think the England under 21s wanted to take me also, so it was kind of weird because then the Albanian first team wanted to take me. For me, I chose like, you know, where I'm from, you know, where my parents are from, you know, where like what I was raised with. So I wasn't thinking too much about it. It was only like maybe when I turned 19, when I slowly started to realise like you're playing for your country, it's a big thing, you know, like you've got the whole country in your back watching, and things like when you don't do well, they're on your back. When you do well, they're like, you know, they're supporting you. So it's obviously tough, but it's a nice feeling to have. So my dad says to me all the time, you're not going to stop playing football until you get Albania to the World Cup. Not even to win it, but for them to be in like the World Cup, they've never been before, so for them to be in the World Cup, it's like them winning the World Cup. He says to me all the time, like, I want your, so let's just say I obviously pass away or die. He wants my name to live longer than obviously me. When kids come up and say like, oh, Armando, you know, like we want to be like Armando and things. So like, don't let your name die before you do. You know, that's, like I said, that's my targets. I want to be, you know, one of the best football players in the world. Every player wants to be one of the best football players in the world, but like I said, I set my targets high and I want to achieve those targets. So I want people to remember me as he was one of the best football players.